gender?
I do he, him.
Okay.
But thank you.
He, him. I was sorry, that's not funny. I'm gay. I can laugh. No, I was telling him he's the first guy that I've had and that I've invited to this house.
Yeah, I'm honored. Thank you.
I don't usually hang out with men.
It's funny because most of my close friends are queer women. So
same.
It's just a better vibe. It's not that I don't have guy friends, but it's just a better vibe. Mm-hmm. I like the vibe better. And also again, like you said, I'm not the most dude-ish dude.
Do you feel like the autism affects how you feel about your gender? Because a lot of autism is missing social cues. And so if you're missing a lot of what it means to be socialized as a man or a woman, because I've noticed that a lot of my neurodivergent
Neurospicy.
Nerdvirgin.
My nerdvirgin friends.
Neurodivergent friends often feel disconnected from their gender as well.
I think that's a very valid point. It's probably due to the we, like you said, we're less tied to the societal norms and normal social cues. So we, in a way, get to explore a little bit more freely because we're already not tied to how things are quote unquote supposed Biscotti. Supposed to be. Wow. Supposed to be.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that to me would actually be a pretty reliable correlation.
Yeah, but you didn't think about that, man.
I didn't. But at the same time, there's a term I heard floated around recently, and I don't know if it applies to me fully, but I heard the term demi-man, which to me basically means I think the best way I can explain it is if someone's hey, are you a man? You go, yeah. Nothing else feels better. I don't think I'm outside of the gender binary, but I'm also just there's nothing about traditional masculinity that appeals to me that wouldn't also apply to a respectable person of any gender. Where it's what does masculinity mean to you? It's well, you're strong and you stand up for what you believe in. I'm would a woman not do that? Would a non-binary person not do that? Well, then you're out of things to talk about, I guess,
That is true. You're making me think on my very own show.
Uh-oh.
It's so up.
That's just the kind of hard-hitting content you can expect here on Sarah Schauer's Block Party.
You know what sucks about? I thought I came up with Block Party, the name, because I thought it was so inspired.
Yeah.
There's this mom and pop Lego shop in the middle of Idaho.
Oh no.
It's called The Block Party, and I'm you rat bastard.
Rat bastard is one of the funniest. Speaking of barely a curse words.
Yeah.
That to me would probably have to be it.
Rat bastard.
You rat bastard.
I know, they're probably so nice, and they're what? We didn't do anything, but...
Yeah. Hey, honey, did you check this out? Sarah Schauer, our favorite YouTuber, has a new show. And then all of a sudden they hear you call them a rat bastard.
No, exactly, and then they're just flooded with 1-star reviews.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I guess we'll have to close up the old Lego orphanage. Yes. We had a good run, kiddos. Imaginary Christmas again this year.
Send all the kids back to Russia.
Timmy. I know Timmy. My name's Timmy too.
Oh God, those dang orphans. Are you of orphan descent?
I'm of orphan descent. I am not myself an orphan, but
Wait, was your dad an orphan or mom?
No, my grandparents on my mother's side were or my grandma was an orphan, and her sister as well, and their brother, and just a lot of orphan lineage.
Yeah.
And on my dad's side, we recently, not recently, but more recent than you'd expect, learned family origin stuff got a little bit messy. And so I'm just my whole family's bastard sauce, and that's okay.
Yeah. Wait, what was the messy part?
My grandfather turned out to be born out of wedlock to the person who was not my great grandfather. And so I was just oh, and I had this realization too, where that's where the Haas name would have been transferred down through. So I had this big realization where I said to my family, I was wait a minute, guys, that means we have no genetic or blood connection to any Haas ever. And everyone was yeah. And I was Poof.
Oh wow!
Everybody's just you all knew that, and they're yeah, that's that.
I'm really sorry about that. Did that shake any of your identity?
I appreciate that, but no. I mean, look, a name is a name.
When is the last time you had an existential crisis? Actually,
what would you sort of put under that umbrella of just who am I or what the hell am I doing, or a couple years ago, a year and a half ago?
Okay,
year and a half ago. Yeah, actually, year and a half ago.
Okay, cool. I
no, sorry, 1 year ago.
Check the tapes.
It's not, no one can fact check me on my thoughts, but for some reason I have to get this right.
No, yeah, exactly. I love that about, I was going to say autistic people, but I mean the thing is you could lie.
I could.
You could have very much lied, but I love the honesty and the straight up answer.
I have a really hard time lying. Unless it's like
unless it's like under oath.
If it's under oath, it's amazing. And like when I get pulled over, I like immediately reach for the gun. It's no, I have an easy time lying when it doesn't matter and I'll never see the person again. And I think it's just to like get out of a social situation.
Oh yeah.
So like, you know, if I like run into an old lady on an elevator and she's just like, I'm gonna visit my family, and I'll just be like, oh, that's great. I visited family recently. It's so healing. And she'll be like, so healing. And then I'll just be like, I didn't visit my family at all.
Yeah. You're gonna visit. No, yeah, dude. That's what I miss about getting drunk. Like my favorite thing. Well, I didn't do this. I love lying with strangers. Like my favorite thing to do at airports. Get wasted at 8 a.m.
Okay.
And then just lie to everyone at the bar. And now I can't do that anymore.
Can I offer an unsolicited suggestion?
Yes.
I think you should double down. I think you
Relapse?
should not relapse. I would never suggest relapse. I think you should have 0 alcohol.
Yeah.
Sip something at a bar.
Yeah.
And pretend to progressively get drunker and drunker.
Yeah.
And just be whoever you want. And then you're double lying. Because the second you're like, you know, something goes down, you're like, come on, in the car with me. Someone will be like, you can't drive. You'll be like, hell yeah, I can. Yeah. And then they're just going to have to trust you.
My breathalyzer to start. I'm just like, look, 0.00.
Oh, amazing.
This is purely decorative. Completely
Fool,
honest.
this was all blue curacao flavoring. And you're like, oh, are you not going to get sick from the sugar? That's later.
You just have like a ring of blue around your mouth.
I just killed and ate a Smurf. What are you going to do about it?
Just escape the airport.
Yeah, I don't know why I put us in like a dire situation of you being like, come with me. While you're already at your gate, you all choose to like walk backwards through baggage claim.
Yes. Something bad just happened.
Oh no.
I have an extra piece, but it's too big to be like an actual. Oh no, I found it. I'm a genius with a J. Or if you speak Polish, genius with a DZ.
That's true. I was going to say that. Thank you for... People don't recognize the Polish language enough, so thank you.
What was your last, like, injury that came from something nonsensical and fun?
I don't know when my last one was necessarily, but I can tell you probably the funniest one.
Okay.
If that is... I mean, that's a different question.
Yeah, what's your funniest injury?
Okay. So I was I was a counselor at a theater camp when I was 17.
Yeah.
And we were doing a Broadway production of a chorus line, and we had to learn it within 2 weeks. And it was like full Broadway choreography. It was like a big thing to learn. And it was one of the other counselors' birthday at that time. So we, as like a fun, like sweet prank, we're like, what if we blew up a bunch of balloons and left them in her room to show her how loved she is with a bunch of like messages of kindness, ha 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 prank.
Yeah.
So I was blowing up a balloon, and other people had already taken like a batch over to her room, and they left as I was like finishing. I was like, oh hey, hold on 1 second, and I finished blowing it up, tied it off. I was like well behind them and gathered up like a little batch to bring over with me.
Yeah.
But it was nighttime and the campers were sleeping, so we had to be quiet. And I was also trying to move fast. So like a Looney Tunes cartoon with that like dun 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 of like the really quick tippy toes with really high motions. I was doing that up some stairs, and I slipped, and the underside of my big toe hit the corner of these concrete outdoor college steps.
Yeah.
Not in my top 10 feelings. And it just shattered my big toe. And,
oh my God.
Yeah. I had this like dark black ring around my toe, and I had to do the whole production on that foot.
Oh my God.
It was wild.
I'm trying to think of a funny injury.
Okay.
That I've done recently.
Or it could be an injury that you've given someone. Did you hurt someone in a very funny way? Even emotionally. Did you break up with someone and then laugh and laugh?
Oh, on my on my time hop the other day, I got this like reminder of a couple years ago when I broke up with this person, and like I was like, I'll text you, we'll be friends, and I took photos of them getting into their car and driving off, and then I never spoke to them again. Oh. I don't know why I decided to take photos of them. But they were like, goodbye, like, peace. Oh, no. It wasn't to make fun of them. It was just like...
I know. Like, the best of intentions in the moment.
I was, like being, like, sentimental.
Yeah.
I Okay, fine.
I don't think that's that weird. I mean, it is, but like in the moment, like, no, make no mistake, that's very bizarre. But in the moment when you're like, oh, this could be a nice thing, like, we'll look back on this and laugh. Like, I understand the mindset that got you there for sure.
Yeah. Oh, crap. My battery is dying. So we're going to have to pause this.
I do want to bring up, if I may,
Yeah.
the part of the conversation that happened right before all the cameras exploded. You asked if I'd ever been hit by a car, and I hilariously said, not yet. Mm-hmm. Then I turned the question on you and asked, have you been hit by a car? And you said...
Of course. I am...
That's not great. Why, of course? What happened?
So, you guys, this is how I've been hit by a car. It was Christmas Eve. This is in my stand-up set. And my parents have kind of cut me out of their life because they're a little bit homophobic.
I'm sorry to hear that.
It's okay. We're not close, but thank you. And so I was on plate duty for the Christmas party I was going to.
Duty. Sorry, please continue.
And so I'm crossing the street. I'm in the crosswalk. Walk sign is on, and this guy pulls way too far forward into the crosswalk, and he hits me, and I roll up on his car hood.
Oh my God.
I know, and thankfully I had been drinking, so I was incredibly relaxed when I was struck.
Okay.
Yeah, that's why a lot of that's like.
See, I knew that for drunk drivers, but I didn't know that like you could just be struck by a vehicle and be like, whatever.
Happens every day.
Jaeger is my shield.
But that's why. Okay, so in Tornado Alley, a lot of people who are drunk get sucked up into tornadoes, and since they're so relaxed when they're thrown back to the ground, they don't break anything.
I believe you. That's also an unhinged sentence you just said. And I'm like, I'm here for it, but good God.
Yeah, and so I rolled off the hood, and he pulls around me he tries to a little bit, and he's like, I'm so sorry. It's Christmas Eve. I've got to go.
Oh, God. It's in my mouth with a tungsten ring. That really hurt.
I am.
Ouch.
And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Did I ruin your Christmas Eve? And so I was I was like in a state of shock. And so then he had to like drive around me, but I was like laying in the road. And so he like had to back up like a couple times and then like try to like maneuver around.
What?
And then thankfully my body was really relaxed. And so the only thing that happened to me is I had like really black ankles for like a couple weeks.
Did you ever, total hit and run situation, no accountability whatsoever?
Yeah.
Wow.
Not fun.
No, that's doesn't sound fun.
But it's funny because it's in my stand-up, so you have to laugh.
Sure. But also, though, to literally just be like, hey, I'm sorry, pal, listen, Christmas Day.
I know.
Mahu more dahu Christmas, like you just, dead ass, wow. Okay, no, I mean, I'm glad you're among the living. That's great. Just, I can't believe that happened to you. You know what? I almost got hit by a vehicle once, and I think it was probably the same guy.
Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve, I was in Tornado Alley,
yeah,
looking for tornadoes, cruising as I do. No, I was in like West Hollywood one time going to do there's like a young storytellers thing where like kids write stories, and I think it's like elementary or middle school age. Isn't it weird how when you're an adult you just lose all perspective? Like when I was a kid and I was 10, if someone was like, what are you, 11? I'd be like, no, dumbass, I'm 10.
Know. Yeah.
And I'm just like, what are you, college or child? Anyhoozle, yeah, I was just like crossing the street to go to this elementary or middle school. As a full-grown adult. So I jumped all around. ADHD meds are wearing off. Kids would write things, and then either voice actors or on camera actors or whatever, they enact them.
Yeah.
And so like you get to have a lot of fun with like, oh my gosh, like we don't know who Tom Kenny is, but that's really funny that man did that, you know. Yeah. So that's what I was doing, and as I was crossing the street, this guy is just pulling a left and just floors it to pull that left, and I have to like sort of like two-step out of the way. Yeah. In the street, and like other cars are there, and like other people roll down their windows and they're like, are you okay? And I was like, I mean, yeah, he didn't strike me, but that's a little weird, and there's a school right there. So yeah, it was a bummer for sure. But I'm okay. I mean, I didn't get struck by it, but you did, Sarah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's okay. I mean, worse.
It's really not. That's not better. I'm sorry I got shot. It's like, all right, it's fine. I got stabbed a bunch. And you're like, no, actually.
It's Christmas Eve. Emotions are high.
Oh my God, do you think that was the Grink? The Grink had to get away real quick.
That was a Grink.
That's the Grinch. Sorry, it's a meme thing where it's like, I think it's something like me describing being trapped on a desert island for the past 3 years. My friend who I accidentally wrote the Grink to once instead of the Grinch. Oh yeah? Was the Grink there?
Yeah.
Like, it's just, so the Grink.
I hate when I make someone explain a meme because I understand that like it's probably hilarious and I'm just ruining it.
You're not. I brought a meme, an internet thing, into an adult time conversation.
To a home.
In a home, a beautiful home.
Yeah. Did you lose something?
My mind. No, I'm good. I knocked something off of something else, and I'm sure we're going to figure out where it goes later.
Also, this is what it looks like when it comes together. Isn't that cool?
Damn, was that a soft flex?
Hey, what do you add? It's embarrassing.
Okay, well.
No, it's okay. It's okay.
I'm surrounded by vehicles every day and I've never been struck by one, so take that. So I was hanging out with some friends the other day where like it was sort of like the spooky little shop. Mm-hmm. And the friends had like driven up from Orange County and they wanted to go see an exhibit at it, and the exhibit part closed while the shop remained open. So they were like pretty disappointed. I've seen it. I'm trying not to be specific because I don't want to dox myself.
Yeah.
And they, you know, so we ended up like hanging out and talking outside the store for a while, and we ran into their friends, and I actually knew one of them, and we were all just like, oh yeah, this is great. And so it was just sort of like that after hours vibe of like, we don't know where to go, but this is just a nice chill environment. And it's like, again, like a spooky shop, right?
Yeah.
And this lady just pulls up at a pretty quick speed and gets out of her car. And like, it is in park, but it is not off.
Yeah.
And she gets out of her car and she walks in, she's like, is this closed?
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, the shop is closed. She's like, okay, does anyone know where I'd get like candles, like black candles? And I'm like, oh, do you mean like chime candles for like witchcraft spells? And she's like, yeah. And I was like, oh, there's a shop kind of up the way. You know, here's where it is. I don't know if they'd be open if this place is closed, but you can try. And she just like peels off and goes there. And we're all just sitting there for a minute and we're like, what do you think that was?
Yeah.
And it was like, I think she had been hexed. Because this was act 3 of her movie.
Yeah.
Like she had just survived all the ring stuff and her best friend was also like, just got ringed.
Yeah.
And was like, wah. And you know, she's like walking like, it ends now. It ends today. And the store's just closed. And I realized like I had black candles at my place and I'm like, it's not a close drive, but I could have helped her out. Like,
yeah.
But I'm just like, damn, like I cannot imagine in this day and age there being like a curse emergency.
Yeah.
Being like, I need curse candles now.
Yeah. I mean, like, to each their own.
To each their own, for sure.
You consider an emergency.
No, like, so one person I was with was a little bit witchy and was like, I think they'd been hexed.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, how do you know? And they're like, well, you know, please forgive me if I get any of this wrong because it's not something I tend to follow, but it was something about like Friday night is when people do curses because that is when the energy of such and such is strongest. And I was like, okay. Mm-hmm. And it was like a Saturday night. So like someone would have been hexed, been like, damn it, that jerk hexed me. I knew it.
Yeah. Oh.
And then needed to sort of deal with that whole situation.
Yeah. I mean, that makes sense. If the moon is charged up at that point, you know.
For sure.
You've really got to...
I do think it might have been a full moon or just after. So maybe someone did some, you know, shenanigans and other Celtic slang on the full moon.
Shenanigans is Irish. Is it? Is shenanigans Irish?
I don't know if I can think of a more Irish sounding word.
Shenanigans.
Shenanigans. You cut that out there with those shenanigans, Timmy Blarney. I'll tell your mother on you. Do you go into accents when you have to like deal with something stressful? So you're like, hey, I noticed you left your shoes by the door and we do have a shoe rack. You know, it's always something like that.
No, yeah. We're like being struck by a car. All right, you get along now.
Sarah, did you do that?
No.
Okay.
I cried.
Okay, yeah, no, I think that tracks.
In the street on Christmas Eve in a Spencer shirt that said nuts deep in Christmas.
Okay, I can see why this is your like tight 5.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
If you were killed and reincarnated into an animal,
Don't threaten me with a good time.
what would you be reincarnated to?
I've got a hyperfixation on crows lately.
Yeah.
Crows and ravens. I'm trying to make friends with crows to some middling success. Mm-hmm. Been pretty good so far. I actually have one that up until this major heat wave would visit me pretty much every day for feeding. I named her Alice.
Yeah.
And I think if I'm going to be reincarnated, like that's definitely a different world to try to deal with.
Yeah.
And having an inn to start would probably be nice. So I could be like, people could be like, why do you want to join our murder? And I'll be like, oh, Alice knows me. And they'd be like, dead ass? Alice does? He's in.
Would you try to mate with Alice?
I think we'll play that as we go. I think we'll have to see. As you know, I'm ace flux. I think I'm mostly demi. So emotions are important to me. Obviously, Alice and I already have that emotional connection, but the power dynamic is very different with me being a human.
You'd be reincarnated.
No, I'm saying as it is now, but it's almost like we do have to completely get to know each other. And I'll be like, so be real with me. Do you even like peanuts? And she'll be like, they're all right. Like, you should have said something. She's like, I don't know language. Oh, damn, you're right. I'm missing a piece once again. I will say, I love your whole setup here. I love everything about it. Shag rug beneath the beneath the Legos.
I know. It's also colorful.
It's a very colorful shag rug. And I'm a little mad.
I'm really sorry about that. Well, I mean, there's also extra pieces. What are you missing?
I'm missing one of these cubic lads, but with the cross piece in the middle to slide on through instead of it being I'm worried I used one where I wasn't supposed to, but I don't know how because I'm perfect and make no mistakes. Here it is. Found it.
Okay.
Next topic. What would you be reincarnated as, Sarah Schauer?
Probably like... Oh, God, like a tree.
Like a tree? Okay.
I think I deserve that.
Do you view that as a good thing, or you're like, oh, I deserve a tree because it's bad?
No, it's a good thing.
It's a good thing. Okay, cool. Yeah, I think you've earned it. Mm-hmm. If you want to be a tree, then by all means.
People carve their initials into me.
Do you think that sucks as a tree to have like stone teenagers just be like, Gerald? And you're like,
yeah.
Ah! Yeah, okay.
No, yeah, that's how I feel for horses that get branded.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'll say this, though, Sarah.
What?
Horses kind of scare me. Mm-hmm. I think the moment we invented bicycles, humanity had no more business being on a horse.
Yeah.
So I don't think they deserve branding, but I also just think like the entire situation of horses right now is already like so bizarre to me.
It's so alt-right.
Yeah.
Have you ever ridden a horse?
I have, and I have a very good rapport with animals. Like I'm good at like meeting them on their sort of ground and like not pushing too far in terms of like, trying to connect with them, and I don't want to spook them or anything.
Yeah.
River was the name of the horse. River was pretty bummed that I'm alive. Just was completely unrideable, very rowdy, and I was like at a camp situation, and I remember telling a friend like, yeah, I couldn't really ride the horse. They're like, oh, which one did you get? And I was like, I got River. And they're like, I got River during my turn. And
yeah,
they were like, yeah, I kept running off the path. I guess I don't have a problem with horses. I don't like River.
Yeah. I
can only hope with everything I have in my body that horse is dead.
How long ago did you meet the horse?
Let's see. It's probably 23 years ago.
Okay.
How long does a horse live? Amazon Echo. How long does a horse live? If it's polite and plays its cards right.
Do I have an echo?
What's that?
Do I have an echo? Is it supposed to be like it's kind of creepy looking.
The Amazon Echo? Oh, the tall neck.
Yes.
That damn tall neck.
God.
I'm just saying what it's called.
I know, but it's so slurry.
God, here's how messed up my palate is. Slurry is like the fish slurry. And I was like, I thought about that, and then I was like, damn, I could go for some fish right now.
You could Postmate some fish.
Do you have slurry near you? Like, can you put it in a trough for me to just have like a little piggy? I'm in hog heaven right now, eating slurry out my trough.
I actually am from South Carolina, and that's a really offensive accent.
That's fine. I'm from Georgia, and our hearts are full of hate. So it doesn't matter that I said something that you don't like. Sarah, if you could not like work with in a professional setting, but like collaborate with one celebrity to make something that you really liked. You know, no one would even know you worked with a celebrity, but you basically get to have them as a mentor for this one project. Who's that celebrity, Sarah?
Jennifer Coolidge.
Jennifer Coolidge. All right.
Of course. She's the only person I can impersonate.
I didn't ask you why. I just wanted to know who.
Oh my God, dude. I told everyone this, but I haven't told you this.
Oh.
I did a stand-up show that was Jennifer Coolidge themed.
Oh.
And I left early because I was parked in a weird space, and Jennifer Coolidge was in the audience. And she she met the comics afterwards, and I was like, "Are you freaking kidding me?"
That sucks.
I know. That's like,
I'm so sorry. She's just like, where's that girl that did the funny part?
No, exactly.
I wanted to meet exclusively her. I can't do it, Jennifer Coolidge.
No, it's humiliating. All right, if you could work with one celebrity, who would you work with?
Oh God.
For the rest of your life.
So professionally married to this celebrity. Okay. Oh, that changes it. So do I have to like cohabitate? Like, do I have to worry about like, I don't know, Sean Bean being like, I didn't put back the dishes. And I'm like, damn it, Sean Bean.
No,
again.
You just work with them.
Just work with them.
For the rest of your life.
I think, here's the deal. I've gotten like a lot of Bill Hader comments about myself and the way I like interact with the world. Yeah. And so I think if I could work with Bill Hader for the rest of whose life, mine or his?
His life.
Okay, for the rest of his life. That's really cool because I get to learn from him for somebody that like has a similar like build to me, you know, control of like voices and faces and has a similar path. So there's a lot to learn from there. But I also feel like I could take him. So if it's the rest of his life, as soon as I'm done with the arrangement, I'm just like, you knew what this was. Yeah. And then I get to murk him. He's murked. And now I get all the treats from Famous.
You want to kill Bill Hader?
I never said I want to, Sarah. It's just nice to have the option.
You're going to have to.
It's not, yeah. Well, I mean, we'll cross that bridge. We'll burn that bridge when we come to it. But it's nice to know I could. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because like Jennifer Coolidge, I don't know like toe to toe who's coming out alive in that situation.
Oh, definitely her.
Yeah. I mean, she's very powerful, but I also have learned many times over never to underestimate you. So I really don't know what's happening in that situation. But for me, myself personally, I think I'd be careful. But Bill Hader I could easily weak ankles.
Really?
Just so quickly. I mean, look at him.
Like right now?
Yeah. Bring him out.
I'm so sorry.
Hey, glad I could be on your show. I'm sorry, you're talking about killing me?
And then he gets immediately
I'm just like,
sag.
Oh, yeah, got it. Oh, God. If by sag you mean his own feet, as I wind strike him, I'm like, Kazekiri? And then he's like, what are you talking about? I didn't even feel a hit. And then you just have that moment of like, that you see in anime with like, it's the, you know.
You have planned out killing Billy.
I don't, so it's improv, Sarah. I know. It's a funny game. And no one's planned on murders.
No, dude, I know.
Don't even worry about it. Everyone's being so weird.
If you had to kill one good celebrity.
Bill Hader. What's up? No, sorry, continue. I'm kidding. No, who I could. No. In this scenario, do I have the ability? Am I choosing in this like hypothetical scenario where I can press a button and they're gone? Or is it like, all right, Damien, you are now given the assassin's task.
Oh, it has to be with your bare hands.
With my bare, okay, see, because that, I'm glad I asked, because that changes so much. Yeah. I don't know. I've got to give an answer that's both funny and not problematic.
I would take the elderly, because you can just
I think the young, though.
You could push them, though.
There's probably more of a rush, and I think you gain their life force. Do you know what I mean? Yes. I think you very much gain, their strength when you defeat them. In this case, kill. I haven't thought about it, but I just feel like, you would. Yeah. How about you? What murder would you be responsible for on camera here? I'm having a great time.
Wait, are you lying?
No, I'm actually having a great time.
Okay. Probably Madonna.
Madonna. Oh, damn. That shot's fired because you literally just said you take down the elderly. And I think that's Madonna. Like, I think Madonna hearing you refer to her that way is probably enough.
I don't think she'd be able to hear me.
What's that?
Because she's so elderly.
Damn.
I'm sorry. They're not all winners. Have you ever lied to authorities? You don't have to tell me why or what. Just yes or no.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, my God.
Look. I don't have a good excuse. I'm just saying, look, what's the problem?
I find it...
Everyone's safe.
I find it very hard to lie to cops.
Mm-hmm.
I have 2 cars, and one of them used to be parked out on the street, and it would get like parking tickets sometimes.
Oh no!
And then eventually the parking people stopped showing up, and it was just the cops now.
Oh wait, what? Why? What?
Because there were so many parking tickets, it looks suspicious. And I'm that stupid. But since my driveway is so steep, I saw the cop, and I started walking down my driveway, which turned into a dead sprint.
Oh no!
At this cop. And then I was like, all I could think to say was, this isn't a missing person vehicle.
See, that's another like TISM thing where you like jump too many steps ahead and you're like, I fully fleshed this out in my mind and you weren't along for the ride, but as a treat, I'm going to talk as though you were.
But yeah, because I was like, this is suspicious. It's probably like the police are checking the plates. Like someone's like probably reported it because like someone went missing and it looks familiar. It's not a missing person. I should pop the trunk for them while I'm running.
I do like to, like when I open the door for visitors, I do like to say, no traps. Yes. Like it's very like calming when you assure someone that like, you know, I didn't kill anyone. Like if you set that as a baseline, I think that's really nice.
Yeah.
For you to have done to those officers.
Well, I think it's just nice to know that, you know, yeah, you didn't kill anyone.
Yeah, it's really nice. This isn't a missing person's vehicle, and you saved them so much time on their route. Because they were like, because that's 100% the reason why they were there. They were wondering, is this? And they were like, oh my God, like a clarion sound, trumpet's call. You running down at a full sprint in what I can only assume are flip-flops or no shoes. And assuring them that all is well.
No shoes, pajama running. 7 a.m.
Wait, like of like the concrete being abrasive against your skin, and you're just like, we are you know, beyond that, like your ankles crumbling to dust from that. You're like, doesn't matter, we're not built for this. It's fine. I didn't kill anyone. I didn't kill my wife. Good Lord, you're motoring.
I think I put it on the wrong way.
I think this isn't a real creature, and whatever you decide is best for you, you can do.
Yeah.
You pooped up some squack.
What? What?
You absolutely pooped up that squack. I'm sorry. Really squacked it up. We are unhinged, and I love this. It's a delight.
Oh my God.
It's been such a fun time descending into madness with you.
Pooped up some squack.
Yeah, you really pooped up that squack back there.
Hey guys, I finished, but he is still working.
I'm doing a good job.
You
Sarah
are.
told me off camera.
You are doing wonderful.
Thank you.
Now, I'm going to talk about the display of the tall neck.
Finally!
It's the beautiful and dangerous... Oh, wait, no. Oh, God.
I am so close to leaving.
I don't even want to read it. I genuinely don't want to read it.
All right, so time to add the head to it. In what possible world did they think that there was a grip on which to get the... There we go. There we go.
I know.
That damn tall neck.
I know, the tall neck.
I love that you can just sort of add him on this little base plate and then not touch him again, because clearly if you do, his bones are going to fly out of his ass. And that's the thing that happens. Wait a minute. Hold on. Wait a minute. So the feet look like this, right? That's the feet.
Yeah.
And then there are these things. Oh my gosh, wait. Do I have the toes going the wrong way? Oh, maybe. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm supposed to like put it on this thing. Wait, I'm missing a whole piece down here. That's how.
You're missing all 4. You didn't put the backing on the back of their legs.
That's what you sound like.
It's
I'm sorry,
always
that was
weird
rude.
hearing my own voice.
This has been a delight.
This has been fun. You also said that you were putting the head on, and
I will start over. I will give you such an unsatisfying ending to your show. Oh God. So I'm assuming I did this wrong because he's like, he's just like,
Yeah, you also didn't make the little butt things.
What do you mean the butt thing?
These butt things.
I quit. This is my 13th reason, and I am
done. Yours looks afraid.
I know, he's just like, oh. It's like a classic elephant sees a mouse situation. It's like, woo! Everything is flying off of this thing. How am I going to get this to my car?
You're going to hate me.
I'm going to cancel you.
But I have to get another SD card.
I will eat your family. I'm so mad, Sarah. Okay, we're good.
Well, guys.
That's the way the
cookie crumbles. This has been a quite fun Lego set. Watching you get stressed out has also been funny, too.
It really has, Sarah. Tell us, Sarah, where can they find you?
They can find me on YouTube at this exact channel.
That's great.
Unless someone's downloaded this and then uploaded the bootleg version to YouTube. Or it's like a 50-part series on Twitter. Where can people find you?
Oh, I'm glad you asked. Thanks, Sarah. My name is Damien Haas. That's Haas. You can find me on all socials at Damien Haas. I stream on Twitch every Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday at around 6 p.m. Pacific, and Sunday is like noon around Pacific. I'm so tired. I'm just like that. You can also find me on Smosh. I am producing our new D&D show, and I'm very proud of it. It's called Sword AF. It's been real fun, and I'm very proud of it. And I hope you enjoy it if you watch it. It's very, if you haven't been into D&D content at all ever, like, it's really accessible. Like, that's kind of the point. Half of our players haven't played before, so we're certainly not getting in the weeds of like, oh, you got to know how everything's done and you're not doing the spell right. Like, no, we're just here to have fun and be improvisers.
Exactly. That actually, I really do want to watch it now.
I think you'd have a good. That means a lot. Thank you.
Yeah.
That's son of a bastard. I think that'd be really fun. I would really appreciate that, but you don't have to. That's okay.
Oh no, I want to. Also, I just love the idea of like we did the outro while you're saying all this, and you're just then at the end after the credits have rolled, just you having a mental breakdown. Throw it against the wall.
I was on the Disney Channel. I do this shit.
I have yet to find a guest that has built at the same speed as me.
So. Well, my house has 100 bathrooms, and I can do push-ups without throwing up. Like, what do you want from me, Sarah? This is really hard.
And I've got carpal tunnel.
That's great, Sarah. Can you imagine? If I invited you onto a video game show and like taught you how to play the game, but was just like, that's not as many points as I get. It's like, yeah, dog, it's your show.
But that would be so funny, dude.
We'll see. Yes. We'll see the cut down to see how that exact situation looked.
No, on the D&D, like, just like, I wouldn't have done that.
I'm losing my mind, Sarah.
I know.
And I wish somebody would tell me I'm fine.
You're fine. You're doing great.
Losing my mind. Wish somebody would tell me I'm fine. Do I need to be like done with this for you to enjoy your evening? Is that what's happening right now?
No, dude.
No. You just take your time. You just have a good old time, big champion, big little fella, big little guy.
No, just, like, do whatever you need to do.
I'm just making these little sleds for his ass. Yep. I guess. So if he falls down a slope, he's like, whoop, 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 whoop. Like, he's fine. I did it again. And then you cut to the, like, main action. They're like, do you hear that? And he's like, whoa.
This guy. You're funny, dude.
I appreciate you. Stop.
You should go pro.
Thank you. Don't say.
Well, guys, this has been a hell of an episode.
It sure has.
I've never filmed with someone this long, I will say.
Are you saying I'm your tallest guest? It's a weird way to say it, but okay.
Actually, you might be.
Yeah!
How tall are you?
I'm like 5'10.5".
Okay, well. Oh,
you got some 5'11s here? Damn. Didn't realize the union was done striking. You can get some 5'11s in here. Also, where do I attach these little ass clasps? There we go. Oh, got it. You just plop them on there. You just plop them on there.
Yes, dude.
Yeah, you just make the booty claps.
Wait, I do. But I can't stop thinking about the idea of inviting someone over to your house to play video games.
You know what's worse is if you don't say anything and it's just like this air of like you're doing something wrong. Like you're like, okay, I'm gonna pull my character like through the door, and you're just like, have you played this before? No? Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Or like teaching someone how to skateboard.
Yes.
And they keep falling, and you're like,
I can do it. I can do it, Ollie. Okay, so he is supposed to be like, because like look at this thing. He's just like he's either seeing like a mouse on the ground, or you said something like that was like the first time I pooped on my brother, like out of nowhere, and there's like,
yeah, no, well, mine's standing up, perfectly regal.
That's pretty cool, Sarah. And you did that how quick? I didn't go near that fast. You know, right? You saw it.
It's just embarrassing. I'm kidding.
That's fair.
No, I'll be fine.
Well, I have 2 cats.
Oh, well, I only have one because another one passed away.
I'm very sorry.
It's okay.
That was actually super. I didn't know that.
No, it's okay. That was just a lie.
Sarah?
Yeah.
Now, why is yours all regal? Sarah, can you riddle me this? Why is yours so special that this is not a problem for you?
He's got to straighten up a little bit.
Okay. Well, his ass just fell clean off. His head just fell clean off following his ass. And following his ass, his head fell clean off. Never seen that happen in a ball game before, Tim.
The actual, like, how you're going to get this home is going to be, I don't even know how you're going to do it.
Well, it's not all at once. I'll come back.
What?
Can I see how yours is? Sarah, like, why is mine scared? Okay. Oh, so it's the body that, okay, so I let the bodies hit the floor. Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
Thank you so much for being on my show.
I actually had a wonderful time. And also, I didn't say this before, happy birthday.
For me?
Yeah.
I was born October 5th.
Yeah, well, I've never wished you a happy birthday, so I'm behind.
Oh, thank you. Well, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. This isn't my birthday. It's weird that you did that. All right. Well, what can I say, Sarah?
You already said everything. So, I guess just bye, guys.